皆さんこんにちは。マネックス証券のハッチこと岡本兵八郎です。今日はですね、キャシーウッドさんと対談をします。破壊的イノベーションで非常に有名になられた方でありまして、今日は彼女にいろんな話をお伺いしてみたいと思います。Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Hutch. We're so happy you're visiting us. Thank you very much.
For the benefit of those who are not familiar with disruptive innovation, and those who listen to Kathy Wood for the first time in Japan, can you please tell us about ARK Invest, why you wanted to start it, and about disruptive innovation, what it is, and why it is so important for all of us?
So, hello to Japan for the first time. Thank you for joining us. Yes, I started ARK Invest for two reasons. One was to focus, as you say, Hutch, on disruptive innovation, because so much innovation is happening now and happening so quickly. So we have centered our research on 5 major innovation platforms. So robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and multiomic sequencing, which we also call the genomic revolution. And not only are those 5 platforms evolving at the same time, but they are converging and creating super exponential growth opportunities, more rapid growth perhaps than we have ever seen for these technologies, which will drive the economies around the world forward much faster than otherwise would be the case.
Can you please give us a few examples, good examples of disruptive innovation that are changing our world as we live today? And also, it is always exciting to think about the future. So what are some of the disruptive innovations of the future that do not exist now, but may change our world going forward? Can you try to explain in a way that we can visualize it?
Sure. The disruptive innovations that are going to occur because of the convergence of these 5 platforms include robotaxis, so autonomous taxi networks, which are the combination of robotics. Autonomous vehicles are robots. Tesla, for example, has 8 million robots moving around the world today. I have 2. I have a Model Y and a Model 3. So robotics, energy storage, so robotaxis or autonomous vehicles will be electric because the costs are coming down so dramatically. And then 3, the autonomous taxi networks and autonomous taxis are going to be powered by artificial intelligence. And so we believe that because of robotaxis, that the number of automobile accidents will come down dramatically. We know that around the world, every year, 1.25 million people die in traffic accidents. 80 to 85% of those accidents are caused by human beings. So with robotaxis, as we perfect those networks, with robotaxis, we will take the human being out of the equation and save a lot of lives.
You know, we have, as a way of communicating with you remotely, use mobile phone now.
Yes.
Let's say in 10 years, do you think we have mobile phone as in this shape?
I don't. So it's going to be interesting as we are looking at Meta Platforms glasses. They are still controlled by a phone. So maybe it won't be the same shape. Maybe it'll be much thinner and smaller, but it will be the anchor to all of these other devices. So It's hard to tell. We'll see how the glasses take off. Our analyst, Nick Groos, he wore his glasses to his own wedding and was actually able to video his wedding as he was going through it. And he thinks this is a completely new computing platform. And, you know, Google thought about this a long time ago, but Google Glasses didn't work out because they were way before their time. Now the technologies are more ready. So, yeah, we'd like to see, you know, there are all kinds of devices that are starting to come out to compete with the glasses. We'll see who wins.
So you talked about productivity gain by disruptive innovations. Can you please explain to us how that would affect the economic growth, maybe overall corporate earnings in the U.S.?
Sure, and it will take place around the world because these are global platforms. That's what's so interesting. Yes, according to our research, real GDP growth globally is going to accelerate from roughly 3%, where it has been since the early 1900s on average. We think that could go up to the 6 to 8% range because of the very rapid gains in productivity that we expect from these 5 platforms. And I should mention, these 5 platforms involve 14 different technologies. I mentioned CRISPR gene editing is one example. So all of them will be boosting productivity. Now, to give you a sense of how this has happened in the past, if you look at the period from 1500 to 1900, and our chief futurist, Brett Winton, has done this study, we believe that real GDP growth averaged only 0.6% during that 400-year period. And then, as I mentioned before, it went up to 3% thanks to telephone, electricity, and internal combustion engine. So that is a 5-fold increase. What we are suggesting, even though we have 5 platforms now, we are suggesting only a 2 to 2.5-fold increase. So we think we're being conservative. And in terms of the impact on earnings, productivity is a very powerful weapon in 2 ways. One, it lowers inflation. And so the profit growth is much healthier because less of profits come from inflation. And that is what the investors will pay up for. So the valuations in the market today probably are going to be supported by very healthy earnings growth.
In recent years, generative AI got the world's attention. Can you please explain how this impact your views of disruptive innovation?
Yes, generative AI, we think, is going to be the biggest catalyst to rapid growth and the evolution of all of our disruptive technology platforms. So again, Brett Winton, our chief futurist, has done a study on the impact of each of the major platforms and technologies. And we've got a scoring system that suggests that generative AI is the biggest catalyst as measured by this scoring system. And the biggest beneficiary of AI is transportation in terms of creating a completely new market, like I described before. The autonomous robo-taxi opportunity, we think, is going to generate revenues in the $8 to $10 trillion range in the next 5 to 10 years. This is globally, and it's all parts of the ecosystem. The companies that are going to be the networks, the taxi networks, so fleets of taxis will operate on their networks like Tesla's, they're going to be the biggest beneficiaries. So they'll get half of that $8 to $10 trillion. Just to put that in perspective, because these are big numbers, the global economy today is about $130 trillion in GDP. So this will move the needle. You know, that $8 to $10 trillion is 8-ish% of all of global GDP. And that's just for the taxis on the ground, the robo-taxis on the ground. It doesn't count the other transportation revolution, which will take place in the sky as retailers are able to deliver orders within 8 to 10 minutes of getting them. So that's for groceries and food. And then, of course, people, eVTOLs, electric vehicle takeoff and landing cars, autonomous, are going to be able to take people from big cities to airports so they don't have to deal with all the traffic on the ground.
So on Tesla, you are very famous for identifying Tesla's potential when many Wall Street analysts didn't see the way you saw. So this is I guess, great example of your research capability being right on a very important investment theme. Can you please explain how you are able to identify Tesla and explain your thinking process?
Sure, and I have to give all the credit to our research team and to the way we have set research up. So unlike other companies which organize research responsibilities by sector or by industry, we have organized our research by technology. So our analysts are technology experts, and there are 14 different technologies. We have 15 analysts, so they are technology specialists, but they are sector generalists. And so while the traditional asset management world defined Tesla as an automobile company, at ARK, we defined it as a robotics company, an energy storage company, and an artificial intelligence company. And we didn't have one analyst alone, like an auto analyst. We had 3 analysts working together to build the model and help understand how the convergence of these 3 technologies was going to scale. So I think it's how we defined what Tesla is. It's not an auto company. Those who did define Tesla as an auto company could not see the potential.
So you have been bullish on Tesla, and at the moment your stock price target in 2027 is $2,000 per share. According to your research, the majority of the value comes from robotaxi, which explained what it is. And also Elon Musk X'd that he will introduce robotaxi on August 8 this year. Can you please share your thinking on how Tesla's value that you are targeting will realize as time passes?
Yes. Right now, if we just defined Tesla as an EV manufacturer, well, then it should be worth,
much lower
in
than
5 years, $600. So that would be more than
Double.
3 times where it is
3 times,
today. Yes. So even defining it that way alone would suggest that Tesla will be a productive holding. I think this robotaxi event on August 8th is important because I think that Tesla and Elon Musk will help people understand how Tesla is reconfiguring manufacturing to enable very low-cost cars, say $25,000 to $30,000, to be produced in two ways, depending on the kind of demand. One way is with pedals and steering wheels. The other way is without pedals and steering wheels. So one is human-driven, one is a robotaxi. So with new unboxed manufacturing, which means this is not an assembly line, it's a new way of manufacturing. Tesla will be able to shift between cars depending on how quickly robotaxi takes off. And we think that's brilliant. It's the first company to do this. And it also tells us that the fact that they are reconfiguring manufacturing means that finally, after telling us that it's within a year, right. This is the first time Tesla has reconfigured manufacturing. So now we believe that robotaxis probably will be on the road, meaning Tesla's robotaxis, within the next 1 to 2 years.
Next 1 to 2 years.
Yes.
Do by one city at a time, and the next city, or would they be doing the nationwide?
We think, unlike Waymo and Cruise automation, we think it's going to be multiple cities at a time. And the reason Tesla can do this is because of all of the miles of real-world driving data it has amassed over the years. Its number of miles collected, the data, is orders of magnitude, 10, 100 times more than all of the auto manufacturers and technology players going after the autonomous taxi market. And it's not so much the magnitude of the data, it's how many corner cases, how many accidents or disengagements has it recorded, so it can learn, the robo-taxi can learn from its mistakes. It has many more of those corner cases than anyone else out there. And I think that's true globally. So the other thing that has happened in the last few weeks is Elon Musk has said that China is open to having Baidu partner with Tesla to deliver a robo-taxi service. We did not think that was going to happen. So this has made us much more confident that that $2,000 price target will be upon us within the next 3 to 4 years.
So what's after robotaxi for the company?
For Tesla? Yes. Well, the other interesting thing that has happened is on the last earnings call, Elon Musk announced that one of the major OEMs, so original equipment manufacturers, the auto manufacturers, is interested in building upon Tesla's fleet taxi network, which that's huge, something we didn't expect. And then, of course, we've got energy storage, which Elon thinks could be bigger than transportation. Now, we don't think so, but energy storage is so much more important today to data centers, for example. So it's a much bigger market than even we had modeled 5 years ago, because AI is moving so much faster. And then, of course, humanoid robots to revolutionize manufacturing again, especially taking human beings out of the dangerous jobs within manufacturing plants, and more broadly, becoming our personal assistants. I was in France last week, and I saw robots serving people at the airport, and I thought, and I know Japan's very advanced when it comes to robots. We are not as advanced, but maybe we'll be able to introduce, the robo-taxis to the rest of the world. So, each country has its strengths.
Right. Okay, well, thank you, Kathy. It's been so educational.
Oh,
thank you very much for sharing your wisdom.
It's a great service to your community, and we are grateful.
Thank you.